Ethereum layer 2s are popping off, and most of the attention has been on Polygon, Optimism, and Arbitrum. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about another layer 2 that already has a vibrant ecosystem and has a number of unique things going for it. And that layer 2 rollup is Metis. In today's video, I'm going to show you locations that you need to know about to navigate Metis's ecosystem. If you like this sort of topic, be sure to like this video and subscribe. And before I go any further, I want to remind you that investing in cryptocurrency and DeFi is inherently risky, so you should still do your own research, of which this video can be an important part. This is not financial advice. With that being said, let's get into it. First, let's go through a quick overview of what Metis is and why it's unique. As we can see on the Metis website, it is an Ethereum layer 2 rollup platform focused on building the Web3 economy. So it's a rollup similar to Arbitrum and Optimism, but it has some unique features that set it apart. The first is that it seeks to solve one of the main challenges with current optimistic rollups, which is that they have a sequencer node that writes the data ultimately to Ethereum, and that sequencer node is often centralized. So Metis decentralizes the sequencer node by creating something called peer nodes. Another unique feature of Metis, Metis allows you to create something called a decentralized autonomous company. These are sort of like DAOs, but they seek to bring all of the essential applications of a company, like HR, like payroll, etc., on chain. So it's building a truly Web3 company. Finally, and this is perhaps the most unique thing about Metis, if we hop back over to their website and we look at their team, we can see this woman right here, Natalia Amelin, is in a leadership position at Metis. And you may not know who she is, but you probably know who her son is, and her son is in fact the one and only Vitalik Buterin. So we have the leadership of Metis, presumably is closely aligned with the leadership at the Ethereum Foundation, which sets them apart in terms of being on the forefront of scaling Ethereum in a way that will be usable for millions of people. And so that is what makes Metis unique. And now I'm going to talk about a few applications that you can use to get started on Metis if you decide that you want to explore the Metis ecosystem. If you want to start using Metis, the first thing you'll have to do is add Metis to your Metamask wallet and deposit funds onto the layer 2. The easiest place to add Metis and any other chain to your Metamask is here on chainlist.org. If you're not already familiar with this, you just type in the network at the top, and this will work for any network you want to add to your Metamask. Then you click add to Metamask and boom, it'll appear in your wallet. Then if you want to deposit funds on Metis, you can use the official bridge, bridge.metis.io, and you can deposit funds from Ethereum right on here, and that is pretty simple. There's some other bridges as well, but this is the official one. The first DeFi application to get you started on your journey on Metis is called Hermes Protocol. Hermes Protocol is relatively risky because it's a small application. However, as far as I can tell, it does have the best rates on Metis. Website is hermes.mayadao.io. And if you go here and go to the stake section, you can see all of the farms available on here. This is a fork of Solidly, similar to Velodrome. And you can see that the rates are pretty good. For example, on USDT, USDC, you have over 20% APR right now. Personally, as I've said many times, I don't like to farm stablecoins. But what I might be interested in is, for example, farming Metis USDC, and that is giving 147% APR. Tough to complain about that. ETH USDC is giving 112% APR, and ETH Metis is giving 69% APR. So that is pretty good rates for what these coins are. And like I said, this app right here does have the best rates on Metis right now. Second application that might interest you would be Beefy Finance. Beefy Finance is on every major EVM compatible chain, and that includes Metis. So if you click on the Metis logo here to filter to the Metis farms, then you can see that this has a number of farms on applications that are actually not Hermes. Hermes is actually the third largest DEX on Metis. The two largest are Tethys and NetSwap. So although Hermes has better rates, perhaps you want to be a bit safer and go with these larger DEXs. For those, you can go over here to Beefy, and I said I have 3 applications, but this one actually has 2 in 1 because you can see the rates for Tethys and NetSwap here. And you can see these are slightly lower. For example, USDC Metis is 61%, but they're still quite nice. And if you decide you want to use these farms, you can either deposit your funds directly here on Beefy and they'll be auto compounded and all aggregated into one place, or you can go directly to the DEX in question by clicking on Add Liquidity and deposit your funds on there. So Beefy is both an aggregator and also is a great way to search for farms on the applications that are loaded on it. As far as why you would want to go on NetSwap over Beefy, main reason is if you don't want to auto compound or if you want to extract one layer of risk. Because although I would say these smaller applications like NetSwap are riskier than Beefy, adding multiple applications into your farm always adds an added layer of risk. And so that is the second application to get you started on DeFi on Metis. And the third application is actually not a DeFi project at all. That is portal.metis.io. This is the portal where you can create a decentralized autonomous company on Metis. So with this, you're not actually earning passive income. Instead, you are playing around with some of the unique features on Metis. And why exactly am I listing that as the third application to get you started on the Metis ecosystem? The reason is that a lot of things in crypto that blew up out of nowhere were unique applications of the technology like this, that the value of which wasn't immediately apparent until all of a sudden it was. So for example, NFTs were a novelty for a long time, something that people would play around with, and then all of a sudden they blew up. Will DACs and DAOs eventually blow up in the way that NFTs did? I don't know, but I know that if they do blow up and you haven't already been testing out the technology, you'll be almost guaranteed to miss that. So if you are interested in the future of crypto technology, then I would recommend checking out some of these applications. There's no financial cost of doing so. And those are the three applications to get you started on Metis. I will say there is some risk to this layer 2 because it's quite a bit smaller than Arbitrum and Optimism, and there are some bag holders because the Metis token had a really strong run up in the spring and then crashed after that. That being said, it's something that I'm personally going to start slowly moving some funds over to. Likely I'll take my rewards from Optimism and start investing them into farms on Metis. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to start using Metis and if there's any other applications that you're interested in. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.